So RTL Paranormal is here at Weston Manor, and we are here to investigate the claims of a lady in blue and also a child here, a little boy, from what I understand. And right now, I'd like to talk to these pretty ladies here. Catherine, can you tell me a little bit about yourself? What is your position here at Weston Manor?
I'm a volunteer docent. I work here, a volunteer docent. I work here usually about 4 days a month. And I give the guided tours. I also have become the ghost host and I set up the paranormal events and some public events. We've done some galley readings.
And what is your name and your title here?
My name is Ann Robbins. I had served on the Board of Trustees some years ago. I've been here for a long time. But at the present time, I do schedule all our lectures. We have a series of lectures on Wednesdays at noon from mid-May until mid-September, each Wednesday.
So
we had them in the cellar, but we outgrew it, and we now have them at the Hopewell Library.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about Weston Manor. What is the history behind this beautiful house?
Well, it was built in 1789. Do you know what else happened that year? Want to give a guess?
What?
George Washington was inaugurated. So we have a new family. It was built by Christian Eppes and her husband, who had just married. Mr. Gillam, I understand he was from Petersburg originally. So a lot of the carvings here have been done by some of the artists in Petersburg, I understand. And it was a new family, a new country, a new democracy. Who knew what a democracy was? A new president, and a whole new world, and how exciting it must have been. And of course, it was a huge plantation, and just very exciting times. So that was the beginning, and we know a lot about the Gillam family. We know a lot about a family that lived here during the Civil War. The little girl who lived here was 12 years old, and as an older lady, she wrote her memoirs, and we have a copy of her memoirs. So we know a lot about that family. The next family the next owners were, gee, I can't remember the family name. Dolans, yes. They moved down, they came from Scotland and England. They moved down south after the war, and they lived here for like 90 years. So we know quite a bit about their family. From then on, the house deteriorated until 1972. The owner, Mr. Broyhill, gave it to Hopewell, Historic Hopewell Foundation. And that's where we are now with reconstruction.
So I understand there's a lot of paranormal claims here, Catherine.
Oh, yes.
So can you tell me a little bit about those?
Well, there's was a lady who worked here who was running late in the day, and her sister was also helping. Actually, they were volunteering. And the lady's sister had to leave. And so the lady was left finishing up what she was trying to do. She very carefully put her keys on the docent's desk, very carefully. She was afraid she'd misplace them. And she finished up and started to leave, went to the desk to pick up her keys, and they were not there. She knew she had so carefully put them there. So she started looking. She looked upstairs, downstairs. She even went to the cellar and to the kitchen and looked very carefully in the kitchen because she had been there since she put her keys down. Nothing. She found nothing. So she went back to each place to check and see. And when she went down to the kitchen, it was on the island in the kitchen, her keys. They were not there before.
Wow.
So, how did they get there?
Somebody was missing.
Who knows?
So, from what I understand, there's a child here also?
We were told that there is a 6-year-old boy who pestered the lady who was our secretary at the time. And he would pull the hairs on her arm. He would come up behind her and give a gentle pinch. And the paranormals told her that it was a 6-year-old boy who just wanted to play with her. But it nearly drove her crazy. Needless to say, she does not work here now.
So, earlier this evening, Catherine, you were telling me about an experience you had, but it wasn't from the house. It was from your phone? Am I right with that?
It was from my, excuse me, from my phone, but it was here in the house.
Oh, tell us a little bit about that.
We had another paranormal group come in down in the cellar for about 2 hours. We were doing a galley reading. At the finish, we went upstairs to see if any of the spirits were active. And we were divided into 2 rooms. So I was standing in there holding my phone because I've been taking pictures. And my phone vibrated, and when it did, I looked down and said, "William Gillam sent you a message."
And William
Gillam built this house in 1789. Well, after being taken aback for a moment and then thinking somebody was playing with me, I'm looking at it, there was no message, and it came from a Plenty of Fish dating website, which would take a lot of effort to set that up and play and send it to me at the right moment. It was rather strange. It was
So
very strange.
Mr. Gillam was trying to get a date with you.
Mr. Gillam must have wanted a date. I don't know. But he's been very kind to me ever since.
Well, I do appreciate your time. What we're going to do now is I've started setting up some of our equipment. We're going to finish up setting it up, and then we'll start our investigation.
Exciting. Can't wait.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we are here in Hopewell, Virginia at Weston Manor. We are in the upper floor in one of the bedrooms, cat-a-corner from the children's room. Tracy and I are about to do an EVP session. Tara and our reporter friends, Chai and Tamara, are downstairs in the basement area. Is there anyone here that would like to speak with us this evening? Now is your chance to do so. From what I understand earlier, Tracy, the furniture in this house is not original to the home, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So possibly, if there is someone here, Could be possibly from an attachment, correct?
Correct.
Can you tell me your name?
Is that somebody whispering outside?
I just heard something about a child. Did you hear some? I heard somebody say something about a child.
Voice that just came over that thing. A little tiny child.
So you guys were in here, and what did you hear?
We heard afterlife, Molly, and then we heard a little tiny child. His voice came out and said something I couldn't understand what he was saying.
Okay, so
I've heard that child. We stood here and listened to this very quietly.
is it the exact same voice?
This was a little bitty kid. His voice didn't sound like any of the others.
Okay, as you can see, we are trying
And we've heard a woman.
an app called the Phasmavox, and Tamara, our reporter friend, she said she heard a child's voice come through it in the children's room. And
then a woman said, Molly.
where'd he go?
In that bedroom.
Can you bring him here, please?
Hey, Mike. This little kid
So,
spoke excitedly, like he's trying to tell you.
so you said you've heard that voice before?
Yeah, I was up here for a few minutes, sitting very quietly in front of the laptop, just watching and listening, and I heard the child's voice several times.
I heard it once, just a second ago.
Several
right before you
times. I
walked
was
in
up
the
there
door.
for maybe 15 minutes, just watching
Yeah.
and listening
Oh.
quietly.
Yeah.
Probably heard it 5 or 6 times.
He sounded like, and he just yelled something out. And it obviously was a child. It was a little bitty kid. Young child, like preschool age, maybe kindergartner. Maybe it's that child, the 6-year-old that's here.
If there's someone here in this room, can you please tell me your name again? Is your name Molly? Tracy, can you turn up your speaker just a little bit, please? Molly, if that's your name, can you tell me how old you are?
It says different.
So are you a boy? So,
Jesus.
Wow.
you know what Ann told me before she left? Her church does, they get together here twice a month.
Really?
And they do like, I guess like a sermon. And then afterwards, the church members and stuff, they have like a picnic and stuff.
Wow.
And the Bible says where 2 or more are gathered.
Right. It says if. A second ago it said afterlife. We heard her voice say afterlife. Yeah, he and I both, just as we walked in the room, that's what it said.
What do you like to play with? What is your favorite toy? Molly, is there someone with you?
Is that the child's voice you heard before? That sounded like a little girl.
Is it okay if we move that chair and close the door?
Lindsay.
Hey, Tracy, close that door. Oh, thank you.
Beast.
That's what I said, beast.
Some door driver, please.
That's the child again. What do you say?
How old are you? All right, no whispering. Because when I review the audio,
Okay.
it's going to be hard to determine what's... The little girl that's speaking, can you tell me who's with you right now? Can you tell me where you want to go? Or do you want us to go?
That last one sounded like,
Are you looking for your mommy? What's that say on the right-hand side?
Neville.
Is that your name? I just find it kind of cool that you're getting a child's voice in a children's room. No whispering.
She had whispered, I'm sorry.
Watch, when I go over the recorder, the ghost is going to say, I'm sorry. How many of you are here in this house?
How's the camera?
Oh, my knees, my knees.
Do you come here to play?
Were you a Confederate soldier? The basement? You heard that? Can you tell me what is it about the basement? Come here. Oh, compare. How do you say his last name? Gillam?
Gillam.
Do you know who Mr. Gillam is? As you can see, we have Sean. Say hi, Sean.
Hello.
He's monitoring our DVR system. Right now, we got 3 cameras hooked up.
Yeah.
One here in this room, one in the children's room where we were just in, doing a Phasma session, and then we have one in the room across from us that we're gonna do a EVP session there later on this evening. Have we caught anything yet?
It's just starting to settle down. Everybody's dwindling away. So.
Yeah. Oh my God.